what's up? Let's talk about Casey Jones issue number 1. Warning, there will be spoilers and probably some hockey sticks to the face. So our story starts out surprisingly not with Casey Jones, but at Bear Mountain State Park. We see this young man and his father. They're out there hunting at night. They got their dogs going. They're obviously tracking something. They actually end up finding what they're looking for, which is this lizard mutant who is scared, afraid, in his boxers, has a muzzle on. The dad's like, look, son, you got this, you can do it. And the son hesitates. He's like, I don't got this, Dad. I can't do it. You're like, what do you mean you can't do it? I can't do it, with him watching us. So we end up jumping away from that to actually Casey Jones. He wakes up from a night terror. It's been actually a couple weeks since Casey has woken up from his coma and is currently recovering from what District Attorney Hale did to him back in the Turtles time, which was shoot him and basically left him for dead. He's kind of jonesing to get out there and start doing things again. He's not quite healed up all the way. April, by the way, has been going out in Casey's gear and doing vigilante work, and he happens to be like, April doesn't know this, but I've been going out doing vigilante work, and that's where we continue with the story. While out on patrol, Casey actually stumbles upon the purple dragons actually messing with this young mutant girl. I believe she was like a beaver or something. Her name's Annabelle. And they're kind of like, hassling her and whatnot. And Casey steps in and he's like, look, you don't need to be doing this. Leave the girl alone and everything will be cool. Which they don't do that. And a big fight ensues. Casey ends up getting the upper hand, while the purple dragons actually ends up taking this kind of drug or something, which gives him super strength, which he gets the upper hand on Casey Jones. And who happens to show up but the Turtles? After the Turtles help out with the situation and run off the purple dragons, Casey and the group end up sharing a pizza on the rooftop with Annabelle, and they start talking like, hey Casey, what are you doing out here? What exactly is going on? Something fishy is going on here. And Casey's like, look, I will get to the bottom of this. I will figure out who Annabelle is, what exactly is going on. Y'all leave it to me. And he kind of starts to walk off, and Raph's like, look, you and me, Casey, we can have a talk, turtle to man. So Casey and Raph start to have their heart-to-heart talk. Raph's like, look, I know what's going on here, Casey. You are not ready to come back into the field. We all know what's going on. Like, you're starting to bleed through your stitches. What exactly is going on here? Even April knows that you are going out in the middle of the night doing vigilante work. He's like, look, I got this. Don't worry about it. They kind of get into a fight. Raph very much is trying to be there and be the voice of reason, but Casey does not listen, and he actually walks off with Annabelle. As he is talking to Annabelle, taking her to her house, she basically is like, everything will be okay, don't worry. Casey's like, look, something's going on here. What is going on? And we find out that her father is actually a criminal. She starts to tell Casey that her father moves a lot of material and stuff like that, and kind of worked with the purple dragon and stuff. Things are not as they seem, and Casey kind of is like, look, I know my dad was also a criminal as well. I get it. Let's figure this out. So we transition from the heart to heart with Casey and Annabelle to these two random mutants, who one is a dog and one is like a parakeet. They are having trouble with their van. They just picked up a shipment of supplies. I don't know if that's food. I don't know if that's drugs, what exactly it is, but they're having some car trouble. And they get out to investigate, and they end up getting attacked by this leopard mutant who really seems to be in for the thrill of the hunt, one might say. All right, so let's take a look at the internal artwork. I just got to say, this cover is amazing, and it's beautiful. All the covers for this are beautiful, which the foot soldiers don't even show up in this issue. I just realized that there's foot soldiers on the cover of this, and foot soldiers don't show up in this book whatsoever. Oh, it's funny. That's a funny thing. But man, here is your creative team right there. And I have to say, this creative team is really good with the art. The art, the coloring, everything is really, really good. It has definitely a gritty, Turtles feel, and it does a very good job of showing that off. I love how they have these scratches along the borders and stuff to focus on like when it's a flashback and stuff, or emphasize it's flashback. But man, it is awesome. I love how they represent Casey Jones. The fight scenes in this are really good. I feel like a lot better drawn than the Shredder fight scenes in that book. But yeah, so much cool, awesome artwork in this. I love all the tones and the shading and stuff that they use for this. This book is definitely on point when it comes to artwork, I have to say, and you will not be disappointed with that. So, all in all, what exactly I think of Casey Jones issue number 1? Well, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this issue. I was a little worried going into this because I had so many mixed emotions and whatnot with the Shredder series that's going on. I was like, oh man, is IDW gonna like let me down once again? But I have to say they didn't do that. This very much follows the events of what's been going on in the main Turtle line after Casey got shot and stuff. I really like the fact that they do kind of like sit on that for a while, and the fact that, you know, Casey isn't 100% and he very much has like this PTSD aspect of like trying to get better. He can't, he's having nightmares and stuff, and like how that has affected Casey as a character, I find to be very, very fascinating, that is for sure. And seeing all the people around him trying to, I don't want to say coddle him, but I feel like they are trying to coddle him a little bit and like don't want him to like get hurt again, which I guess that's human nature and whatnot. I really like the mystery going on with this hunting thing, or this mutant trying to hunt other mutants. I find that really interesting. They don't really touch on that a lot. It's just at the beginning and the end of this book. And one of the really strong parts of this I really like is Raph and Casey's bromance is really good. I like the whole, like, how, like, heartfelt this book really seemed, you know. Like, it very leaned on some pretty emotional stuff with Casey and Raph and their best friends. Like, I like this. This was awesome read. It got to the point of, you know, what's going on with Casey and stuff, which I am here for. I thought this book was actually pretty well paced and very well written. I'm really looking forward to see where this actually goes and how it's going to tie into this mutant hunting thing that's going on, and what exactly is going on with the purple dragons taking these weird drugs that enhances their abilities and stuff and makes them like really strong. Like, Casey definitely has an uphill battle, I feel like, because he's not fully recovered and stuff. And I hope they really lean into that, and like we see him struggle trying to help people and protect people and stuff, and like what that's going to do to his psyche and stuff. But I'm really interested to see what is going to go on. Like, this was a very good first issue. I will say you will probably need to read the TMNT series up to where Casey is shot to learn a little bit more backstory probably. I don't really feel like this is going to be new reader friendly for sure, but it was a fun read. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think of Casey Jones issue number 1? I'm Otaku Mike. Catch you on the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for more stuff.